Hello, everybody, and a very warm welcome once again to my channel. I am your host, MC Myra DeCosta, and for today, as promised to you all, we have a special guest with us, the very own Goan child that we have. She's right from Goa soil, based in Mumbai currently, and with us we have Dr. Shraddha Lotlikar. So, Doctor, thank you so much for joining us again here.
Thank you for having me. It's a great pleasure.
Well, I know I have a lot. I have a list right here with me. And to introduce you to Dr. Shraddha, we have a lot of things to tell you. First and foremost, she is an MBBS from BJ Government Medical College in Pune. So she is a professional that we have got in hand for you all. And she's currently working at the BARCH hospital that is in Mumbai. She has had a lot of experience in her hand from COVID from the year 2020. So, Doctor, welcome back right here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, I know you have been busy, but just taking a little time of yours because we have loads of questions that have come in from our very own viewers over Instagram. So, one by one, I'll be just trying to ask you the question. But the first question that we all have in mind right now is to tell us something about this new variant that's there present right now of COVID.
Okay. So, see, anytime a virus comes into play, what it does is once it infects a certain number of people, it is not able to infect other people as effectively as it was infecting these people. So, what it does is it mutates itself, it changes its own way of acting and infects more and more people. So what that does is this mutation does is it increases the infectivity and it confers what is called the immune escape. What immune escape is that? Say I got COVID, okay, and now it has been like 4-5 months since I got the COVID, but now the new variant that is there, it has certain properties that it can still infect me. So if the virus was the same as before, my body knows, my body has that memory ki, oh, I've been infected with this thing before, I know how to destroy it. So it will destroy it very fast. But when the properties of the virus change, it becomes a variant, that is when my body is not able to respond to it as properly as it would have, it was the same virus. So this is what the new variant means. Now, the variation that has been found in India, the US Center of Disease Control has said that it has a double mutation. So there are two parts of the virus that are changed, and it is, is more effective in infecting people. So, but this does not mean that there has been no proof that this virus is more deadly or it is the reason why the second wave was so large. The reason that the second wave was so large was because we were not compliant with the uh, standard set, that is wearing masks, maintaining social distancing. We did not do that, which is why the second wave came. It is not because the virus was, much more infective. There are certain properties that have changed. For example, in the first wave, if you see, we would have a single patient from an entire family who was positive. In this wave, there are entire families that are positive. No one is getting spared. So the infectivity may have risen, but it is not more deadly. There is no proof that it says that, it is more deadly. So new variant basically means it has changed its property and you can get infected again, even if you were infected before.
I think many have this concept they're going on running. I don't know if it's only in Goa, but outside also. If I've taken the vaccine, I am immune to all the things that's happening. But I pretty much am sure that there's a lot of things coming on across from that side also.
Yeah. So see what the vaccine does is, so imagine your body is like a fortress, correct? Your body is like this huge fort that is being protected by various lines of defense. Okay, so when a foreign person enters, a foreign virus enters, your body starts defending itself one by one. Different various lines of defense called the immune system gets rid of the foreign virus. So in vaccine, what happens is the vaccine, it uses certain parts of the virus, that is COVID virus, certain parts of it, or the dead virus. So when you are injected with that part of virus, your body realizes that this is something foreign, and it starts creating lines of defense. It creates what is called antibodies to fight against this foreign thing. So now that it has fought against it, it knows ki, oh yeah, this is something I know now. So next time when you actually get infected, so if you have the vaccine, you can get infected. The vaccine does not say that the infectivity will be gone. You can get infected, you still can get COVID. The only thing will be your body will recognize ki, I have killed this thing before, so I know how to deal with it. So your body will react to it that way. It will react faster and it will kill the COVID virus faster. So you won't have a severe illness. You will have a more mild to moderate illness. That is what the vaccine does.
True, true. And I think that's the thing that has happened. But I think with the variant that is going forward, we have seen like the common thing is like a fever, body pain, something like that. But there is, I think, new symptoms that have come in. So can you just share a little limelight on that too for us?
So the new variant may not necessarily have any different signs or symptoms. Like you rightly said, fever, dry cough, and sore throat, loss of taste and smell, these symptoms continue. Earlier as well, we had the symptoms of diarrhea. Newly, what we have found is we get people with conjunctivitis. Then in elderly especially, people come with the complaint of feeling tired. And that is their only complaint. Like, we are so tired, we can't get out of bed. It's coming with directly shortness of breath. Like they've not had fever or anything. They directly come with shortness of breath. And they have had COVID for a while. They've just not known about it because they were probably asymptomatic earlier. And now that their lung involvement has increased, they come with shortness of breath. And again, apart from that, they also show symptoms of stroke sometimes, especially in the elderly age group. If they have like low grade fever and they have not been the fever has not been identified. So at that times we may get a stroke sometimes as a presentation of COVID.
And also, I think many of them get, kind of scared where their oxygen level drops and all. They are like in a panic mode. They are like, we got to run to the hospital and stuff. And I think it was a big controversy.
Correct.
Because many people just went to the hospital. Turned out to be that there was no beds at all. So ultimate to that result also.
So what happens is, say I am COVID positive. After I get the infection, from 5 to 6 days to almost 14 days, I may not show any symptom. So many people around me, because I don't have any symptoms, I can like pull down my mask and talk to a few people. So this is pulling down that mask and talking to people and going around meeting people right now. Either of us could be positive. We may just be in that 14-day gap where we have not yet shown symptoms. So we need to be very, very careful about wearing masks, of taking all these precautions to ensure that you don't get COVID and because of you, someone else doesn't get COVID.
It is the truth also. Many of us have been actively participating and thinking like, nothing. It's like when the sign was told to us, ghabrane ki baat koi nahi hai. You should not get scared at all. Like, achhe din aane wale hai types, like everybody bombarded and had fun. And now they've been suffering the consequences also. Rightly said. I think that is one thing that has happened with us. Okay, so we have another user of ours by the name Shrutitya again, who has asked this question is, if they say COVID is airborne, how can wearing mask prevent it?
So first we look at what airborne is. So airborne is basically, say a person who is infected is standing here. So an area and say he's laughing or coughing or just talking, eating, so a radius of around 3 to 16 kilometers around him is going to have what is called droplet nuclei. So these small particles are going to come out of your mouth and nose, and they are going to spread around you. And whoever is in that area if they inhale that particle, they are going to get the respiratory infection because the particle has gone in your nasal mucosa, your lungs, and or into your entire respiratory tract. So this is what airborne transmission is. Okay. So for example, if you are in a place where, say a singing class, the area is closed, all of you are singing, there is the AC blasting, there is no ventilation. So an infected person singing in that class is going to spread that infection to everyone around them. Or say you are in a gym, that area is also closed, you are huffing and puffing and, working out very hard. So the gym is also a very closed space, the AC is running, there is no actual cross ventilation or anything. Similarly in restaurants. So this is where the lockdown comes in. So in lockdowns, what we are doing basically is we are avoiding these clusters and groups of people coming together and spreading the infection to each other. So if you look at hospitals have certain procedures, like people are wearing oxygen masks, they are on high flow oxygen. So at that time, these little droplets or aerosols spread at a longer distance. So while you're talking or coughing, they may spread for a few kilometers. These aerosolizing procedures spread for around 16 kilometers. So in hospitals, this is very, very important that you wear at least a double cloth mask or an N95. A single N95 works, or a double cloth mask works. So this is why the masks are important during an airborne transmission. So airborne doesn't really mean that the virus is, everywhere in the air now. It basically means that from the point of infection, it is in this radius, and you can get that infection if you are in that radius without wearing a mask.
Okay, because I think
and not vaccinated.
Yeah, and many of them have been practicing also that, because we have seen people wearing the mask in the wrong way. Some are like on the nose, up to the eyes.
Yeah.
For some, it's like
so
a
it's
trend
very,
of
very
wearing it as a
important.
beard.
Like a beard, yeah, or on your neck as a neck protector. Does not make any sense. Your mask must be covering this entire part of your mouth, so that the virus does not enter into your mouth or through your nose. If your mask is like this and it's itna open, to upar se to virus ja hi sakta hai. If you are wearing it like this, no use at all. Your mouth is not going to, suck in the virus. Your nose is anyway going to get infected. So it does not make any sense, especially while talking. It's very, very important not to pull your mask down and talk, because that completely beats the purpose of the mask, because that talking is what is producing these aerosols. So if you're taking down your mask, you are infecting others and you are getting infected yourself, because aapke samne wala bhi aadmi ha karke mask niche nikalega. So the mask is completely useless if you're doing that.
I completely agree and support that cause. Okay, that is really beautifully answered. And I hope the viewers who have seen have got a little bit of clarity, because this is something very important. Okay, we'll move on to the next question. Our next user is Beatrice D'Souza. Well, in her concern, she is saying, I was tested positive for COVID in the month of March. Can I get the COVID-19 vaccine now, or should I wait? And if I have to wait, then for how long do I need to wait?
Okay, so you have to wait. So anytime you are infected, you should not be taking the vaccine for at least 3 months. Okay, so she has to wait from July, or even after July, if she takes the vaccine, that is okay. But 3 months, though, you have to wait, because that gives your body to allow the antibodies to exit your system, the antibodies that have been produced because of the infection. So when you take the vaccine, new antibodies are produced, and you get more resistance against the infection, or more infection rather, the severe symptoms of the infection. So yeah, you have to wait for 3 months after your infection to take the vaccine. Even our normal flu virus, why do we keep getting flu in the winter seasons? Because it may be the same virus, it is mutating and making itself stronger, so that it can infect us. So in the same way, COVID is doing the same thing. So if you have, the more antibodies you have, the more lines of defenses you have, the better it is for you. So you must take the vaccine. Vaccine is the way forward. That once getting COVID infection does not mean that you won't get it again.
True, doctor. And I believe that would really help. So if you are not vaccinated as yet, the viewers watching, please go ahead and get your vaccine. I know it's a little tough procedure, but you got to get to it. Moving on to the next one, we have Sabi Montero. Now, Sabi has a little tough question. He says people who can get COVID or even those who are quarantined because someone close to them has COVID or are often very scared of about the consequences that are happening. Even while taking the vaccine, whether it should be helpful or not is a question that many of them face. The main question that he has is there any way that these feelings of fear, anxieties can be dealt with? Because I think right now in Goa, at least specifically, we are facing, the fastest finger first for the vaccine. Get vaccinated, but how? Because there are no slots open and it's kind of creating problems for them. Also, because of, COVID, there has been a lot of, I think, discrimination and people have been staying away. So how do people tackle with this anxiety issue that they have with themselves?
So firstly, we all know that this anxiety is because of, the lack of predictability in this virus, the lack of social connections. You are staying away from your family, you are maintaining social distancing, you are not meeting your friends. There is a constant worry about your health, your family's health. If you are older people in your house, their health. Then also there is a stigma associated with COVID. Because if you get COVID, people are going to stay away from you, and that is going to make you feel not good and very, very anxious for your own safety, right? So it is, firstly, one should always understand that being very anxious during this time is very, very common. Everyone is anxious. It is not that you are weak or you're not able to cope with it. Please understand that everyone is getting anxious. You are just facing the consequences of this unforeseen pandemic. So taking vaccine is, like I said earlier, is very important. I know there is the capacity building in our country may not be up to the mark. It will slowly get there. We may get vaccines sooner, now let's see what happens. I really can't predict what will happen in the vaccine scenario. But if you are getting the vaccine, do take it. It will help you. If you may get infected, but at least your symptoms will be less, you won't have to get admitted. And we all know what a struggle it is to get a hospital bed, right? So taking a vaccine is important right now. So the efficacy of the vaccine, if you go through papers or studies, Covishield has about 70 to 90% effectivity, and Covaxin has 70 to 80% effectivity. But if you are getting Covaxin, do not worry. It's not like if you take Covishield, you will be 90% of the time you won't get infected, and if you take Covaxin, only 80% of the time you won't get infected. दोनों से you may get infected, symptoms कम होंगे, इतना ही है. Either vaccine you are getting, please take it, okay, and give it to your the elder people in your family as well. So firstly, to deal with the anxiety, first thing you must do is get accurate information and avoid information overload. Because anxiety is because of these rumors that are spread ki, if you once you get COVID, you are done for, you are not going to live. Then you turn on the TV, you see that 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds are losing their lives to COVID. Even people in their late 20s are losing their lives to COVID. So it is very difficult to deal with the fact that someone your age is losing their life to COVID and you having COVID. It's a very, very tough thing. So do not, in your state of anxiety, watch a lot of news, try to get a lot of information, go to proper site, go to the MOHFW site, that is the Ministry of Family and Health Welfare site, which is a government site. It has information about COVID. Whatever information you need, get it from there or ask your doctor. Do not panic. Do not overload yourself in information. It will just cause you anxiety. Then use the other resources available to you. You have a smartphone, you have video calling on it. Teach the older people in your family how to make a video call. And if they are quarantined or you are quarantined, or even if you're not quarantined and you're staying just far, video call. Stay socially connected. That connection should not get cut off. That connection will help you release that anxiety and that constant worry you have about everyone around you and yourself. Correct? Now, a few more things I like to tell you. So there is something called grounding exercise. Okay, sometimes in your state of anxiety, you have 100 thoughts running in your mind. You're not able to focus on anything. So grounding exercise, you can even Google it and see how it works. So basically what you need to do is sit in one place, try to take some deep breaths and focus. You have to notice 5 things you see around you. You have to notice 4 things you feel. Say your own hand, your top, your hair, your pants, right? Then 3 things you hear: the noise of the fan, the noise of the AC, someone's playing a TV outside, those noises. 3 things you hear, and 2 things you taste, whatever it may be, right? So notice these things and ground yourself. Pull yourself back to what is happening right now. Correct. So this is called grounding exercise. You can Google it. You will find good examples of what grounding exercise is. Another is breathing exercise. So breathing exercises will help you again release that anxiety and feel a bit more calm. Okay. So in breathing exercise, instead of focusing on what is going wrong around you, or how the pandemic is affecting everyone, or what the health of someone around you is like, you focus only on your breathing. So at the count of 3, you sit in one place, lie down, whatever you're comfortable with. And on the count of 3, you have to inhale, for example, 1, 2, 3. Then hold your breath for 3 counts. Hold it, 1, 2, 3. Say the words in your mind and exhale, 1, 2, 3. So this is a very simple breathing exercise. It's a triangular exercise. 1, 2, 3, inhale, 1, 2, 3, hold, 1, 2, 3, exhale. Correct? So this is very easy to do. Then you can go online and search for muscle relaxation exercises. So these exercises tell you that you have in your body. For example, if you notice, even right now, there is some tension in your shoulders, there is some tension in your neck, there is some tension in your jaw. If you release that tension even now, if you just put your jaw a bit lax, you will feel a lot of worry lift off your chest, lift off your shoulders. Okay, so this is what muscle relaxation exercise will do. It will help you deal with that anxiety. It will make you calmer. Okay, so doing these exercises 2 to 3 times a day will help you. Then another thing you can do is try to structure and plan your day. Say you are quarantined, 14 days ka quarantine is very, very tough. For 3 days, you will be like, this is a holiday. I'm just going to watch Netflix all day and I'm going to enjoy this thing. On the 4th day, you will be like, I'm not staying here anymore. I need to get out of this place. So what you need to do is you need to divide and structure your day and plan activities. You need to give time to watch Netflix. You need to give time to talk to your friends and family on the phone, read books, listen to music, exercise. You know, even if you're not quarantined, even if you are at home and you are, working from home, these things will help you maintain a structure to your day. Not having a structure to your day gives you a lot of time to think, and an empty mind is a devil's workshop. It will keep feeding you negative things and it will keep making you anxious about things that have no, they are not going to happen in the near future. But your mind will keep, what if this happens, what if that happens, what if I die? These things keep coming to your mind. That's just very, very normal. Another thing, sleep hygiene. You must maintain a good sleep hygiene. 6 to 8 hours of sleep is very necessary for your immune system as well, and for your mind to calm down as well. So, and not watching TV half an hour to 1 hour before going to bed, not using your phone before going to bed. This goes a long way in maintaining sleep hygiene. Then if you have any signs of COVID, if you're quarantined and you have any signs, say breathlessness, or your fever, you have a very high grade fever, say 101, 102, 103 for more than 5 days, you must go to the doctor, or at least inform them on the phone and ask them what their next step would be. Sometimes they'll just give you medicines to take at home. Sometimes they'll call you to the hospital. If you have a SpO2 probe or oximeter at home, it's great. You'll be able to check your own oxygen and inform to your doctor as well. correct? And if you continue to feel this uneasy and very, very anxious sensations, you are having palpitations, your hands are trembling, you are sweating, and you feel like you are now about to die, your chest is constricting, you are having chest pains, you are feeling having like this out of body experience or something, and you're getting very scared of this, you can consult a psychologist or a psychiatrist, whoever is available in your area. So that will be a very good thing for your future health, mental health, and your situation at that time is as well.
Truly. And in fact, I think many of us have already started writing their last will. Like, they've already predicted without anything, like, I'm going to die, this thing is going to kill me. And I think it's very important that we need to balance our mental health at that time, because not only actually in
Absolutely.
India, but even we have seen in the previous, hit waves countries like the Italy, then there was US, there was so many people
Mhm.
going through depression, and
Yeah.
so many people,
Yeah.
you're losing your very loved ones, especially the known face who you
Absolutely.
have seen and just disappears overnight. So that has created chaos and
Absolutely.
panic in everyone. But as you said, doctor, it's really beautifully said that we need to, keep ourselves busy. It's okay if we go back to school, have a timetable that how we used to have in school. And
Absolutely.
I think I don't know, but many of my friends who have I've come in contact with, many of them have told me so many positive things. Like, people have started their YouTube channel, have, worked on, developed on their self. And so
Correct.
many
Correct.
people have gone forward and done many other things, which is important. So I think the entire session today was really lovely, Doctor. Thank you so much for
Okay,
all the
you're
knowledge
most
that you
welcome.
have given. Okay, so before we go, this one thing that we would really like to know from your end, what would you like to tell a message to all our viewers watching in today?
Okay, so firstly, I've said this so many times in this entire interview that people are going to get angry at me. Just stop talking about this. But this is very important. Please wear a double mask. It will go a long way. Wear two masks, two cloth masks, or a single N95 mask. Maintain social distancing, 6 feet different distance. That is, you put your hand out like that, make your friend put his or her hand out like that, and maintain that distance while talking. Yell if you have to, but please maintain that distance. Thirdly, keep your rooms, your house well ventilated. Keep your windows open so that the air, keeps changing inside your house. So even if you are infected and you don't have symptoms, at least the air in your house keeps rotating. Correct? Then another thing is, if you get the chance, if you are so lucky, please get vaccinated. Then if the elderly in your house have any symptoms, like they are feeling very weak, they're not able to get out of bed, they are not able to feed themselves, which they were doing a few days back, and this has suddenly happened, then please make sure that you get them tested for COVID, because that is a new presentation that is coming up. And the um, issues with elderly is that they deteriorate really fast. And the last thing is, he we have spoken a lot about COVID very, very negatively, but the truth is that more than 80% of people have mild symptoms and they recover. Okay, so the death rate is not as high. Like Goa itself has some 0.1 ka death rate right now. So the death rate is not that high. You don't have to worry ki now I'll die only. But what you need to be careful of is not getting infected. If you do get infected, you can come out of it. Young people do come out of it very, very uneventfully. Older people may have some complications here and there. So it is not something that you need to be very, very scared of. The main thing we are doing here is, say, if one person gets infected, that person is infecting 50 more people. That is what we are stopping. Those 50 more people will individually infect 50 more people. That is what we need to stop. And we, as the youngest generation, we may not have younger generation, not the youngest, but we may not have any symptoms, severe symptoms of COVID, but it is our responsibility to make sure that we don't spread it to the older people or the children that come in contact with us, because they may not have the same immunity that people of 20s and 30s have.
That's really beautifully said. I hope everybody who has been watching this video, I hope you have learned a lot, because Dr. Shraddha has literally told us a lot about the situation that has been happening in general. And I hope that every information that you have picked out is going to help you, especially what she has, emphasized inside is to take care of the people who right now cannot be reached, that especially the elder people whose immunity is low. Let us all yell, shout, whatever, but all wear mask. We need to save ourselves, kill COVID, kill the virus, not just within us. The negative thoughts also have to be killed inside us, and we need to stay positive, not with COVID positive, but mindset being positive to everyone out there. So, Dr. Shraddha, thank you so much. In fact, on behalf of everyone watching this video right now, we would like to really give you a big salute and a big thank you for being such a wonderful speaker, and also for being a part of the frontline worker and working so tirelessly for all of us right now. Maybe right now you may be outside of Goa, you might be in Mumbai and all, but thank you so much for dedicating all your service, and a big salute going out from every one of us to you.
Thank you so much. That is so kind.
All right, and with this, folks, we are towards the end. That was Dr. Shraddha joining us right from Mumbai for us. So, Doctor, thank you so much for joining in. And also, this is the end of this video. If you have liked this video, please give ahead a big like, comment, also share. And with that, also don't forget to subscribe, because there are much more comments coming in. Doctor did something for us. Can you do it again?
Like.
Okay, so now you cannot deny what doctor has said. You have to go ahead. And in case if you have any more questions that you would like to ask, you can please drop down the questions in the comment box. We will try and make another series of part 2 where we can get another personnel, or we can get doctor herself coming to speak back to us again with some more questions. With this, folks, thank you so much for watching. We are saying a big bye-bye. This is your host, MC Myra DeCosta, and that's Dr. Shraddha saying bye to all of you all. All right, so thank you so much. Bye-bye for now, and please be safe and take care. Bye-bye.